Will I start? You may see me struggle, but you won't see me fall. Regardless if I'm weak or not, regardless I'm weak or not, I'm going to stand tall. The past 10 months have been a terrific experience where we saw life in real sense. We fought to survive, we worked autonomous, we realized how important is life and our planet and how small we are in front of nature. Living life may be easy for few, but living life in true sense is a challenge. A few cursed the year 2020, a few learned to fight challenges and proceed positively. On behalf of my school management, coordinators, teachers, I welcome all parents and students present for this orientation session. I am glad for the presence of my school director, Sir, Shri B.B. Gupta ji, my school principal, Sir, Mr. Vivek Gupta, the headmistress, Ma'am, Ms. Kavita Mehrotra, my senior coordinator, Ma'am, Ms. Neha Gupta, and the school coordinators. Alongside, I'm equally delighted for the presence of all parents, our lovely students, and teachers present in this session. The lockdown had been difficult for all, in all respects. People learned to work in dire circumstances, and with optimism and determination in mind, we together fought through hurdles we never saw before. For schools and the entire educational fraternity, it had been a challenge. For students, it had been a question. After all, a year had to be compromised. But we sailed through this, finding advanced means and making things possible without compromising our lives. Believe me, in December 2019, we really weren't aware what awaits the year 2020. And yet, our school had already joined hands with Microsoft. Teachers were getting trained to prepare lessons online. Teachers were guided how to utilize online platform in our day-to-day teaching. But soon, with the outburst of pandemic, we were astonished to realize that all we have to work upon is this platform for the rest of the year. So fortunately, our school and we teachers were already prepared to bear the change and the challenge. And we are glad that our students and you all, parents, accepted this change and supported us in making it possible. With the blessings of our late founder chairman, Sri G.C. Lagan, who taught us to fight problems, find out new ways and methodologies to proceed, think bright, think advanced, and think different, we all overcame this situation. He was a man who appreciated perfection in all respects and worked error-free. We are fortunate and blessed to have his guidance all there to enlighten us. We are equally fortunate to have the blessings of my school director, sir, who taught us to learn in all possible circumstances. His is a methodology way different from many. He has a true sense of assessing people's worth and has trusted us in exploring new ventures. No doubt, the freedom he has given us to revolutionize things has made us shine around our vicinity. And I must not forget to mention the support and directions offered by my school principal and in all ominous circumstances we were in. For every problem he is there to support us and help us finding solution. It is his motivation and trust upon us that we have transcended to be the 21st century educators. No doubt, things had been difficult for all, but at the end, it made us strong, enlightened, victorious, and whatnot. And today, we've got this opportunity to restart what we left long. It had been a moment we have all been waiting for months. The opportunity to see our students, whom we have been though teaching in virtual world, but really missing their notorious acts and big smiles during physical classes. We are very happy and delighted for the opportunity of reopening of the schools and are again prepared for the challenges associated with it. We know that COVID is not yet over. It is still there, but we can't stop living. So let's together once again find out ways to cope up with the questions we have in our minds and support each other in making things possible. I request parents and students to kindly post in their queries and doubts regarding the same in QAA section in this platform, which will be addressed in today's session. Believe me, we are prepared and ready for this change and challenges as well. And how I would request our Honorable Principal, Sir, to throw light upon the same and guide us for all possible support needed to make us things possible. So, Sir, please take the charts.
So you are muted.
So you're muted.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. So thank you, Pooja ma'am, for such a wonderful introduction. I feel that the introduction really gave a glimpse of how our teachers actually sailed through this tough time and how our parents and students have actually supported us and accepted this particular change. So this is something of which we were not prepared about. And again, a transition is going to happen from Monday onwards. We'll have the school reopening, and we want to share things with all our parents where we want to let them know that the school is prepared, the teachers are prepared. How about you? We want to ask you. So you can always trust the school, and I'm going to share my PPT with you, and I'm sure it is visible to all of you. We are going to talk. I'm going to let you know what are the preparations that we have handled and managed at the school for the reopening. So it's about the preparedness for reopening of the school. And when we talk about the reopening of the school, I think safety protocols is something which is very, very important. So my first round of PPT will talk to you about the safety protocols that we are following at school, and we wish our parents to ensure that the students, when they are at school, should also follow those protocols. And the protocols are, of course, wearing mask is mandatory when you are at school. You need to wash your hands frequently, as and when you feel that it is necessary for you to wash the hands, the students must do it. Please cover your mouth while you are coughing, and of course you have to do it with your sleeves or your elbow. You cannot use your fist, and that's not possible. Then don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth without washing them properly. So that's very important. Avoid contact with sick people, not only in the school, but even outside the premises. And you are suggested not to stand in the group, which we are going to monitor very, very strictly when you will be at the school. So these are few protocols that each and everybody has to follow. And of course, social distancing is the norm. Minimum 6 feet distance has to be maintained. And when I'll be taking you through the slides, you will get to know how we are going to ensure that the social distancing and the physical distancing will be taken care about. You have to also understand that you have to carry your own stationery item to the school. And most importantly, we will not be able to allow you to share the stationery item with your friends. And the reason is that we do not want any kind of transmission of the virus because of the sharing of the stationery items. So it will be completely prohibited, and students must carry their pencils, erasers, pens, notebooks, whatever is required in the classroom during the physical school. You are also required to carry your own lunch boxes and water bottles. Though the water taps, we have ensured that things are managed effectively, but still to ensure that things are in control and there is minimum chances of the transmission of the virus. It is very much required that you carry your own lunch boxes and water bottle to the school. And we will not be able to permit the students to have the lunch together on the same seat. So the seats that will be allocated to the students, you were required to have your food on those seats itself and nowhere else. Moving on ahead. So the school is very much prepared, and the preparation starts from the main entrance. So when you will be entering the school premises, you will see something like this installed at the near the main gate. The black machine that you see here is the automatic attendance machine, which is also the thermal scanner. So automated thermal scanning of each student will also happen, and for the teachers that is already happening in the school. There is a hand sanitizer machine which is placed at both the entrances of the school, and the students will be required to sanitize their hands before entering the premises. So this is very important. Any student whose temperature will be observed to be not in the prescribed limits, those students will not be allowed to enter the premises, and you may have to return back to your places. So this is essential that before leaving your places, you are ensuring that your body temperature is absolutely normal, so that once you visit school, you don't have to go back, which is very, very important. Moving on ahead. So there is a provision that the entry and exit has been staggered, and we have ensured that both the entry gates will be used. Both entry gate number one and entry gate number 2 will be used.
ऐसे लाइनें बन गई हैं।
किसके लिए बन गई हैं?
बच्चों के लिए।
Okay, can I request the tech team to please manage that? Thank you. So it is very important for us to ensure that even the school corridors have been ensured. We have staggered them, and it has been divided into two parts, and the left hand movement will only be permitted. So students have to take care about that, so that there is minimum physical contact when they are at school, and when they are crossing the corridors for moving from their classes to the labs. It is very, very important. Moving on ahead, there will be a separate staircase to climb up the school laboratories and the classrooms, and there will be a separate staircase to step down from the classes while exiting the school premises. So you will be guided when you will be at school on Monday. You will get to know how to climb up. Your teachers will be there at the main gate to help you. And of course, the school building is very much familiar to each one of you. The only change will be that all staircases will not be used to climb up, and all staircases will not be used to climb down as well. So alternate staircase pattern has been followed to ensure that no physical barrier, no physical contact is there. The classrooms have also been ensured in such a format where there are only 12 students sitting in one classroom, and alternate sitting will be there. So you can see the image on the screen where it is written in the red sticker, please don't sit. So this seat is blocked and nobody is permitted to sit on this seat. And accordingly, we've ensured that on your left and right also there is nobody sitting. So minimum 6 feet distance is maintained at all times, even in the classroom. And this is how we plan to ensure your safety. Moving on ahead towards the computer labs. The computer labs now have the glass partition, and these glass partitions have been introduced keeping in view that there is no physical contact and you are not exchanging your stationery item with each other, and minimum 12 students can actually sit and attend to the practical session that the teachers will be carrying out in the classroom. So both the senior lab and the middle lab are prepared for this particular thing, and practicals will be carried out in the computer lab. So if you have not completed your projects, you can actually use the school lab now to complete your work. Even the chemistry lab, bio lab, and the physics lab is prepared. You can see in the image there are spots very much specified for the students' workspace, and you have to only be present at that particular point. You are not supposed to move around in the lab, and your lab in charges will be taking care about all these factors. Also, in the lab, we are going to ensure that only 12 students at one time will be catered to, and only 12 students will be attending the practical sessions with one teacher in one laboratory. At the same time, there are now touchless water taps that have been installed at the water stations for drinking water. So basically, we don't want any student to use the hand and mouth to go down and have water. So you're required to carry the bottles with you, and the automatic sensor will help you fill your water bottles at the school water stations. The same thing is there related to the hand sanitization. So there are hand sanitization machines installed at different places in the school premises, and students can sanitize their hands as and when required. But it is always suggested that instead of sanitizing your hand, it is good that if you wash your hands for minimum 40 seconds at one go. So that will be ensuring that virus or any kind of germs are killed properly. Also, when we talk about the washroom facilities, we've ensured that the water taps in the washrooms have been replaced with the automatic sensored taps. The soap dispensers have been placed and they are also automated. There is a hand dryer in the washroom that will be utilized to dry your hands. So there is absolutely minimum contact with anything that you would want to touch around. So things are going to be very, very safe. At the same time, only 2 students or 2 people at a time will be allowed to use one washroom. So only 2 students can enter, and the remaining students will have to wait outside the washroom for the washrooms to be vacated, so that we can ensure that the washrooms are also cleaned and disinfected before every use. We already have the trained healthcare professional available in the school. Like earlier, the arrangements are there, and we also have the oxygen cylinders and the oximeters. And now we've also planned to have a separate isolation room. So in case if there will be any case that we will feel detected and there are chances of that particular person being positive in any case, there is a separate isolation room. So isolation room is not the one that that the medical room was there. So it is completely separate, and it is going to be near the main entrance of the gate, so that it's easy for us and there is a complete security for other students as well. We also have a school counselor available at the school at all times during your presence in the school. So any student who feels that there is an emotional breakdown, or you were not able to get back to the routine, you need some kind of help, of course your class teachers are there, your coordinators are there, but alongside a specialized school counselor will also be available at the school to help you to ensure your mental health well-being, which is very, very important for us. We have also ensured that alongside the green bin and the blue bin for the dry waste and the wet waste, we've also placed yellow bins, which will be only utilized for biomedical waste. So any student who is carrying a mask with them and they feel that that mask is to be disposed of because of any reason, so you are required to dispose of those masks only in the yellow bin. Or if you're wearing gloves and you want to change them because of the school timings, you want to change another set of gloves, you can actually do that, but you have to dispose them in the yellow bins so that nobody, absolutely nobody, including the support staff of the school, is getting in connect with any chances of contamination, which is very important. We are also ensuring that regular sanitization of the classroom, students' desk, handrails of the staircases, doorknobs and the doors. This will be done regularly in the morning before the students will enter the premises, and the same will be repeated after the students will leave the premises. So I think this is something that is very, very important, and we are going to be very particular about this fact. The same thing will be noticed in the school washroom. The washrooms will be cleaned and disinfected after every use. So when I say after every use, if there is one student who is using it, we are going to immediately ensure that it is disinfected and it is cleaned once again properly for the next use. At the same time, the school reception is also open, and we are also prepared at the school reception. And some of the parents have actually visited the school and they have seen the arrangements at the school reception. We have the acrylic sheets placed to mark the partition, and the people are required to sit at the designated spaces at the school reception, so that's to avoid any kind of physical contact. But at the same time, I would like to highlight that any visit to the school needs to be priorly appointed. You are required to take prior appointments before your visit at the school, which is absolutely essential because we are working with limited staff at the moment in school, and we might not be able to cater to you at all times like we used to do earlier. So any parent who's planning their visit to the school, we humbly urge you to kindly take an appointment and then visit the school. There are some points that we want you to take care as parents and students. Since the schools will reopen for class 10th and 12th only from 18th of January 2021 Monday, you are required to send us the consent form. So immediately after today's orientation, there will be two things that is going to happen. Number one, your class teachers are going to send you the form link. So one form link, Microsoft form link, was shared with you a couple of days back, wherein we wanted to know the sentiments of the parents and how confident are you feeling to join the school, over which and what kind of preparations we would need to do at our end before the reopening of the school. And we wanted to understand the needs and requirements of the parents. So that was done to analyze that particular part, and I'm glad that the response is really overwhelming, and we've seen about 70% of the parents are happy about the reopening of the school and they really want to send their children to the school, which is a great motivation for us as a school also. But at the same time, now since the orientation was delayed due to the preparation at the school, and we wanted the PTM also to be winded up today in the morning. So today, after the orientation, your class teacher is going to share one more Microsoft form with you, which you are humbly requested to complete and submit positively by 8 p.m. today, which will help the class teachers divide you into groups, and accordingly the class teachers will be letting you know about your days of physical work at school by tomorrow 1 p.m. Okay, so this is going to be very important. I'll repeat myself. After this orientation, the teachers are going to share a Microsoft Forms with all of you. You're required to send your consent in yes if you're willing to join in. And on the basis of your consent, the teachers will divide you into groups. And accordingly, the teachers will be intimating you about your days for coming to the school on Sunday 1 p.m. By Sunday 1 p.m. you will get to know about that. Okay. At the same time, the consent form will also be formed. This is the first part. The second part is the hard copy of the consent form for the students visiting the school for the very first time. It is required for them to bring it to the school. So even if you have submitted a formal school form, Microsoft form virtually, but you are required to bring the hard copy to the school and submit it to your class teacher, without which we will not be able to allow you to attend the classes. So your consent form will be checked at the main gate on day 1 of your visit. So it is very important to take the print of that form, or you can rewrite that form on a piece of paper, get it signed by your parents and submit it to us. Also, any student who are residing in the containment zone currently, you are required not to come to school and do not fill the consent form, because you will not be allowed in the school premises. Any student whose family members or he himself or she himself is experiencing cough, cold, fever, body ache, any other health issues, loss of smell, loss of taste, they are suggested and they will not be allowed to join the school. So they are required to declare their fitness duly obtained from health practitioners and submit it to us before their joining. So that will be important. If any one of you is experiencing any such thing, you are required not to join the school for the safety of your friends, for the safety of your teachers and others in your surrounding. Students are not permitted to bring any kind of electronic gadgets to the school like earlier. So mobile phones, laptops, tablets will not be allowed in the classrooms. It is going to be a physical class where the teachers will teach you physically. So, you know, the teachers are going to use the blackboard and the chalk, and if required, they will be giving you handouts and the assignments. And of course, the smart boards will be used to show the presentations or whatever the aids the teachers would want to use. But you will not be allowed to use the mobile, laptops or tablets in the classroom, or you are not required to bring that to the school as well. If student is not attending the school, he or she must inform to their class teacher priorly with reason. So what we exactly mean by this is that if in case any one of you has given a consent today, but you are not attending the school because of XYZ reason, this could be because of your health, this could be because you felt that you are not well prepared to enter the school premises, or you need some more time to prepare yourself, or whatever reason it could be, you need to intimate your teacher if you're given a consent. So if you're given a consent and you are not joining in, please intimate your teacher that you are not joining, so that the teacher knows that you are not there and you are required to then join the virtual classes. The students must sit at the designated places always as specified by the class teacher. So one seat will be blocked for one student for the entire day, and you have to ensure that you are not going to swap your seats. You are not going to change your seats. So wherever you are sitting, you have to remain seated there or at that particular seat whenever you visit to the school. The students must monitor their health from time to time, and in case you are facing any kind of difficulty, whatever it could be, you are required to report immediately without waste. Do not think that it was because I did not eat properly. Do not think that it is probably because you're coming after so long to the school and maybe you are because of fatigue it is happening. Don't do that. Please do not delay. Any first-hand information or any first signs will actually help us contain the virus to spread, which is our responsibility as an individual, not only towards our family, but also towards the society. So it is very important. At the same time, when we are talking about reopening of the physical school, the attendance for the students in the physical school is optional. Okay, so this is to be understood that it is optional. Students can attend physical classes only with the parents' consent. So we are by no means pressurizing any of our students to come to the school, but at the same time, yes, we want you to come to school because you are the board class examinee students, and very soon the practical work, practical examinations are to be held. We want you to prepare for the practical examination. We want to prepare and discuss few things that probably is only possible and feasible in a virtual, in a physical world, in the classroom. So for that particular thing, your physical presence in the school will really matter. And this is definitely going to help you gain confidence. And I'm sure that some of you are actually out of written practices. So when you are at school, the teachers will also ensure that you are given certain written practice work so that you are back into the form before appearing for any kind of examination. It is also very important that you bring the textbooks and notebooks as per the timetable, and the timetable will again be provided to you by the class teacher only tomorrow by 1 p.m. So the class teachers will be sharing the timetable with you tomorrow when they will be sharing your group. So each section student will be ideally divided into 3 groups, visiting on Monday and Thursday, Tuesday and Friday, Wednesday and Saturday. So your visit to the school will be twice a week at least, until the things become normal. So we are going to call you in small groups, and we are going to cater to you in small groups only. And it will be required that, when you're coming to school, you have to follow the timetable. And I'm going to share the time schedule as well with you in this presentation. So all your queries related to that will also be answered in a while. A student who has submitted consent to join physical classes will attend minimum 2 sessions, as I've just told you, and the physical days will be informed to you by the class teachers by 17th of January, 1 p.m. and you will have to wait for that. Now, this is the schedule for the physical and the virtual classes. The physical class and the virtual class will together start at 8:55. However, the timing for the physical classes will be, the duration of one period of physical class will be 45 minutes, whereas for the virtual class, the duration will be 40 minutes. For your understanding, there will be 2 separate timetables that we have prepared for the physical school and for the virtual school. Students who will be attending the school physically will only be catered at that particular moment, and the virtual classes will be taken up at a different time. All right. So the timetable for the physical and the virtual school will be shared with all of you. These are the timings. Your teachers will also share these timings. You can take the screenshot of this page and keep it with you for your ready reference at future. Although all these informations will be available at the school website, and also we'll be sharing this through your class teachers on the Teams app. So there is absolutely no worry about all these things. The reporting time for the physical school for students will be 8:30, while we are starting at 8:55. So the 25 minutes time is required for us to ensure that we are able to observe your temperature, we are able to collect your consent forms. The school authorities actually need minimum 25 minutes before your classes begin. So that much time will be required. We need to guide you if there are any protocols to be followed. So please ensure that you are near the school gate at 8:30 in the morning. But at the same time, outside the school premises, we request you, if you're using the private transport or public transport, please ensure that there is minimum contact with anyone and you're keeping yourself safe at all times. Please sanitize yourself and your bags and your hands properly once you enter the school. In fact, after passing the staircase, you can directly go to the washroom, wash your hands, and then enter your classroom. This will be a good idea to do. So basic things are these. In a physical class, there are going to be five sessions that you are going to attend. And in the virtual classes, though we have mentioned 6 sessions would be there, but only 4 virtual sessions will be conducted per day, unlike right now. So today, if you had your classes, no, today was a PTM day. So yesterday, if you had your classes, there were 5-session timetable that was given to you. But from Monday onwards, the timetable for the virtual classes will be only 4 sessions. This has been done because we want to keep it simple for everybody. And of course, the syllabus is already complete and we are looking forward for more revisions. And we look forward that the student who's joining 2 days physically is able to attend 4 days virtual classes also. So that alternate thing has been planned and you are required to manage your routine accordingly. So there were a few questions that were asked to us during the form that we received from the parents. And the first question was, when is the school opening? So the first answer is, it is going to open on Monday, 18th of January, but it is going to open only for class 10 and 12 students with the parents' consent. Is it mandatory for my child to attend the physical classes? No, it is not mandatory. Students can also join the classes virtually if they wish to, and the students will be allowed to join only with the parents' consent. What will be the timings for the physical school? I think I've already shared that detail with you. So you're required to report at 8:30 in the morning, while the classes will begin at 8:55 and the classes will get over by 1 o'clock. So when I say that the classes will get over by 1 o'clock, unlike earlier, the dispersal will also has to be in the staggered format. So we are going to disperse you room wise to ensure that there is no physical contact, and you are required to maintain 6 feet distance at that particular moment as well. So we are going to monitor all this very, very carefully, and we are sure that all our students are mature enough to understand the need of doing this, and you will be cooperating with us in this regard. Will there be a break? Yes, there will be a 20 minutes break, both for the virtual and the physical classes at 10:25. The students who will not come physically, how will they continue the studies? Of course, I have told you that the virtual classes will continue to happen. So if you're not coming physically to school, don't worry about it. We are going to cater to you virtually, and you can continue to attend your academic session with your teachers and continue to get your doubts clarified. How will students commute to school? So, this is one question which most of the parents are actually concerned about. How are the students going to commute to school? So, as you all know, the school did not have any transport facility earlier also. The same continues to be happening during this time as well. And we expect the students to come at their own and go at their own, while ensuring that, you are going to be absolutely safe. So it is suggested if you can have a private conveyance for the students fixed up for those 2 days of their visit to the school in the morning and in the afternoon, since we have shared the timing with you, that will be expected out of the parents. But in case if there is no option available, of course, public transport is the only option. But then the students must ensure that they are keeping themselves safe and they are not touching here and there unnecessarily on the way to avoid any contact with the virus. Will practicals be held during the school? Yes, of course, yes, a big yes. It is because of the practical sessions that the school want that the students must come to the school. In fact, the students in commerce and humanities would be thinking that we don't have practicals, so how about us? But believe me, students, there are project work. We need to prepare you for the Viva, and for that you need to be present in the classroom. And even in the during your physical classes, the 45 minutes, the teachers have planned small, test for you, wherein they will probably give you 2 or 3 questions. They would want you to attempt it on the spot in front of them and get your queries sorted, which is the right way of doing things, right? Which actually wasn't possible in a virtual world because some of you were, having connectivity issues, or some of you were not having the microphone or the cameras. So the teachers actually could not interact with you very often. So that's why we want you to be present in the school, because there is some part of the curriculum that definitely needs teachers' intervention at the physical level in the classroom. And for that particular part, like statistics in economics, or some, calculation part in accountancy, and maybe, the project work related to political science or some psychology work. So all that will be done during this time, and we want you to be here in the school so that we are able to cater to your requirements, and we are able to, help you complete your project works in time, because very soon we are definitely going to start with the pre-board examination also. And the pre-board examination will now happen in a physical format. It is not going to be a virtual examination any longer. So, and it will again not be a compulsory thing. If you want to appear for the examination physically, most welcome to come and write the examination, because we want you to practice. And but if you're given your health or some other concerns, we would definitely not pressurize you to write the examination physically at school. But yes, we definitely want you to write the examination for your better preparation of the board examination. And as we have also got in touch with certain stakeholders at the policymakers level, we've got to know that even for class 9 and 11, the examination the annual examination may happen physically and not virtually. So, there are no chances now that we are going to have virtual examination. So don't be in any kind of, rumors, or don't just believe any fake news that the examinations have been cancelled or postponed. We really don't think that is happening as of now. Future, of course, is absolutely unknown to everyone, but we want you to prepare for the physical examination, which will be the need of the hour. And for that particular thing, you need to be present at the school. We can also have the Q&A questions if anybody is having. So Pooja ma'am, we can ask the questions from the parents. I think there are a couple of questions that you would want to want me to answer.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I'm sure the safety measures taken up by the school would have ensured the parents and students. And we also promise you to help and support you. And we would be there as a responsible caretaker for all our students. So all we need is the faith of parent and our lovely students in supporting us and trusting us for this responsibility. Still, we are there to sort out your queries. So I'm hereby raising certain questions and doubt that we have received from certain parents here. Which I would request Principal Sir to kindly address. Sir, a few parents have a concern regarding the school dress. So they are like what they need to wear, the student need to wear. What do you suggest?
This is a very interesting question, and I feel that when you're coming to school, you have to be in the school uniform. There is no second thought about it. And if you do not have a winter uniform, we can offer you to wear the summer uniform. We can offer you to wear your house t-shirts and come to school. But yes, school uniform will be mandatory. Without school uniform, of course, school does not look like school. So that's important.
Certainly, sir. And parents also have a query regarding pre-board examination, the medium, whether they are going to be online or offline as before.
So I've just answered that query in my last part of my PPT, that the examination, pre-board examination will be planned in the first week of February. And given that if these 2 weeks go quite well, we would definitely want to start the pre-board examination from 1st of February. But if in case, we feel that the students need a little more time with the teachers, we might postpone it for the 2nd week of February. But yes, definitely, by 8th of February, we are definitely going to start with the pre-board examination. Physically, that is going to happen at the school, and the pre-board examination days will be divided. So class 12th will have the examination on one day, while class 10th will have on the second day. So that even during the physical pre-board examination, we are able to divide the students and they can sit, in a staggered format, and only 12 students per room will be allowed to write the examination.
Yes, sir. And a few parents also had a concern that in case they have opted for yes for physical school and later on if they wish to withdraw or not send their ward to school, so are they allowed for the same?
Absolutely. I think it's a wonderful question if somebody has put up that, and that leniency we are definitely going to give to the parents. If in any case, if the parent would want to withdraw the consent that you have given us today in the evening, or maybe on the first day, that written consent that you have given, after which if you would want to withdraw your consent, you are absolutely allowed to do it, but you have to mention the reason as to why you want to withdraw, so that if in case there is anything that we can help our students bring about a change in our schedule or whatever is required, we can actually consider all those things.
Adding on to it, in a similar fashion, there are parents who have a concern that in case they wish to join the school but right now they must be out of station and they are not in position to join school right now, are they allowed to join in later on?
Absolutely. So in case if any student has not joined us in the first week and maybe you would want to join from the second week, absolutely yes. It's a big yes for that. There is no problem with it. But of course, you have to fill the consent and intimate your teacher priorly so that she can put you in a batch where there are minimum students and social distancing and physical distancing can be managed at ease by the teachers at school.
Certainly, sir. And though you have certainly clarified everything, the way the things are prepared at school, yet the parents also have a little concern about the way the things would be managed during food breaks and for other reasons students may move out of the class and mingle with each other. So what solution do you offer for the same?
Absolutely. I think this was one major concern when we even had the staff meeting and the management meetings where we were discussing about this particular point, that if we are calling the students for 4 hours to school, we definitely need to give them minimum 20 minutes break. But the concern was that how the physical distancing will be maintained during those 20 minutes. And for that particular thing, I think our teachers are very, very supportive, and they themselves opted that, sir, we will ensure we will be with our students, because for us, our student safety and health are prime concern, and they have opted that they will remain in the class during those 20 minutes with the students and have food in their seats itself, so that the students also get motivated to have the food. And of course, TED talk and pep talk can happen between the teacher and the student during that food time, like we used to have in our families, and that will even help the students build good emotional bond with the teachers and with their peers as well. And of course, this was another concern was also there, that if somebody is entering the school premises at 8:30, but the classes starts at 8:55, so for those 25 minutes, what happened to the student? So the teachers will be available in time in the classroom. So once you were directed to go to your class, the class teacher is present in the classroom. She's going to designate to you your seat, and you're going to be there, and then you can interact with your teacher. You can share your experiences. You can ask her your doubts or anything that you would want to ask from your teacher. And these are some informal moments in the school physical world, which I think students have been missing, the teachers have been missing. Those pep talks that used to happen even during the lessons, students used to share some of their latest achievements that they're doing outside the school as well. So that really motivates the students, and it actually becomes a moment for others to learn from the experiences of their friends. So which definitely those 25 minutes can be utilized for.
Certainly, sir. Timings you have already clarified it as 8:30, but yet parents are suggesting a little later time in the Q&A section. They are suggesting 9 o'clock. So what do you suggest? I think 8:30 you have offered, and 8:55 we are going to start the school.
Absolutely. So I definitely understand parents' concern, because it's been 10 months that everybody is sitting at home and we've completely spoiled our routine. And given the current situation in Delhi, the winters are at its peak. And even today, the fog was enormous. So even when I was coming to school, we had a lot of difficulties, and teachers are also mentioning that. So earlier we were planning to start the school at 8 o'clock. So, but given that, these circumstances, we decided to delay the school timing. And I think 9 is absolutely suitable as of now, because if we delay it furthermore, the traffic on the roads will also increase. And some of our students are actually traveling from NCR. So for them, given the current situation at the border where they are completely sealed, there will be delays in reaching the school, which we really do not want, because office hours will also be at peak. So I think as of now, 8:55 is the right time to start with the classes. Of course, when we are asking you to be here at 8:30, you can actually delay it by 5-10 minutes as per your convenience, because there would be somebody in the queue standing at 8:30. So if you're traveling from far distances, you can manage that for 10 minutes.
Adding on, certainly, sir, there are parents who are satisfied with virtual classes and they have a query regarding physical classes. A few are suggesting that classes should be specifically for practical subjects. However, there is a query that how our physical classes are going to be a little different from virtual one, specifically for theory subjects.
Right, I definitely agree, and that is a major concern. Even the forms that I've rolled out earlier this week, the major concern was that especially the science students just wanted to come for the practical work. But as of now, what I feel is that practical is, yes, a very important part of the board examination, but we cannot neglect the theory part. So I think, subjects like mathematics, subjects like English, where you need to sit with the teacher and the teacher need to see how you're comprehending a particular thing in a physical world, which is very important, because that is going to happen in the 3 hours examination. So it is definitely required to have certain sessions that will be completely dedicated to theory, and we cannot ignore that. It is certainly that, as I've told earlier also, in subjects like accountancy, economics and political science, there are requirements where the teacher needs to meet the child physically and do certain work.
Certainly, sir. And a few parents were talking about that in case of illness, suppose a child has opted for physical classes, can he discontinue his virtual classes from, or can he continue with his virtual classes from home?
Absolutely, that's allowed. I think I've given that answer earlier as well. So that's absolutely allowed. But you have to inform us. That's important.
Certainly. So, sir, most of the queries have those sorted. One more query is that regarding pre-board examination, because one of the parent is like that as per the government notification, the pre-board should be happening from April 1st to April 15th. So,
Right.
can you just suggest a solution why we are starting early for this?
So exactly, even we were concerned, and when we had the meeting of different principals yesterday evening, this question was also raised. But as far as the understanding is there, the circular specifies that the assessments can be taken up. Certain level of assessments definitely can be taken up in the month of February. And since the private schools are, a step ahead, we have actually planned to have the pre-boards in the month of February. So why delay? If we can have, instead of one round of physical pre-board, if we can have two rounds of physical pre-board before the, main examination, I think that is definitely going to give an advantage to our children. And of course, that is what I'm saying, that we'll have to still wait for these, at least the first week to pass by and see the responses. In case if we'll feel that the pre-boards, we cannot have the pre-boards in the month of February, then probably we'll plan some small assessments for the students so that, at least some written practice is happening. So things have to be decided and planned. Nothing is in place at the moment until the students come to school and first week is passed by. We cannot comment on that.
And a parent has, questioned that can his child attend more than 2 sessions a week?
Not at the moment, because the entire system will disrupt if we will allow everybody there. I know there are some students who are very keen and they want that they should be at school at all times. We can consider that only in a couple of cases, but that will be circumstantial. If you feel that your child wants to come to school and the physical school is better for the child to prepare for the board examination, you can definitely write to us. And we can find out a suitable solution for that and see if we can allow your child to be present in school during all the 6 days.
And I'm sure this question must be from a science student where they are concerned about JEE papers, which are in month of February and they're
yes.
worried about pre-board examination. How are they
Right.
going to prepare for those
That
exams?
is why, Pooja ma'am, I mentioned that we are intending to start the pre-board from 1st of February, but I really cannot comment anything as of now because I want to see how things will happen in the first week of the students' arrival at school. So until we see the students physically, at least for a week, we observe things. It's very uncertain to let you know that pre-boards will be there or not. That's why I think there was a oral information that was given to the students that please plan yourself. And even today at this platform, I have mentioned it a couple of times that the pre-boards may happen from 1st of February. Keep yourself prepared. The date sheet will only be rolled out after the Republic Day celebration, not before that. So you have to keep yourself prepared. If in case there will be pre-boards, you will get the date sheet. If in case there will be short test or assessments, you will be intimated about it. If we are going to completely call off the assessments, we'll see to it how things will propel. I really cannot comment. It will also depend on the level of the practical work that the students will complete in these 2 weeks. It will also be dependent on that.
Yes, a few parents have also questioned specifically. I believe it must be from some student who wish to know that if there is something taught in the physical school, will the same course or same subject or same topic will be covered in a virtual class as well? So they are concerned.
Cannot comment on that. I cannot comment on that. I have left it on completely to the teachers because teachers are the ones who can decide what is right for my students. And what the content, what we want to do with the students in the physical world could be absolutely different from what we are doing in the virtual world. So maybe in the virtual world, the teacher is going to give them some task or some small activity that they're supposed to do or discuss or something like that. But yes, in the physical world, we are going to be very rigorous with the written practices. That's again, I'm telling you, the rigorous word does not mean that the students have to write for 45 minutes. No note making, nothing is happening. The content has already been delivered. We are only looking looking forward to, assess the children, and the assessments will be soft assessments in these 2 weeks. It is not going to be hard assessments. So maybe a mathematics teacher in the 45 minutes can give the children 4 questions, tell them this is the time. So within this time, you have to complete it and then share the responses. So everybody discusses it there. If there are any errors, the children can self-assess themselves and see what is the error that they have committed. So that is the utility of the physical classes, and that's what we are aiming at.
I'll be taking this final question coming up from one, I believe this is also coming up from certain student who is questioning, are the examination going to be physically? Is it compulsory to give physical examination?
If the examination will happen, you have to come to the school and write if you want to write. If you don't want to write, you can send us a request and tell us that I am not interested to write the examination. We'll be happy to exempt you. It is not compulsory.
Moreover, they need to understand the need of physical examination when CBSE has already declared that they're going to have physical examination. They'll have to write papers. So
Absolutely.
maybe the students are not understanding the need of it right now, but they would certainly realize it later on. So with this, I hope most of the
I will add one more point to this particular thing, Pooja ma'am, that when we are talking about physical examination exemption, it will be mandatory. It will be mandatory for your parent to come and meet the class teacher and inform the class teacher personally with a written request. If you think that you are going to just send a mail to us intimating that you're not writing the examination, maybe we will not be able to accept that. So you have to send and come and meet the class teacher personally and let her know the reasons why you are not writing the exam physically, which will be very, very important.
Certainly. So with this, I hope most of the queries and doubts are duly addressed and we have somehow satisfied the parents in developing trust upon us. Certainly the times are hard and we still have to struggle constantly with the biggest smile, even though we are tired, even though we'll have to fight, even though there is fear, even though it's hard, but we have to resist through it all. So you may see us struggle, but you will never see us fall. So we know that all parents are worried, parents are doubtful, but considering that no one else thinks best for a child but his parents and his teachers, with this belief and conviction and a positive mindset, I hope you will all help us in making things possible. And with this, we would like to take your leave. We hope we have sorted most of your doubts. If still the doubts persist, the queries could be raised through communication, through school ERP, or mailing us directly. Thank you so much, everyone, for bearing out some time to be a part of today's session. And a very good night to everyone.